These pretty little pine warblers are always a special treat to see here in Winneshiek County, since they're considered a rare migrant and not a bird you're going to see every day. Notice on this male here the kind of the really nice rich yellow or gold colors on the front of his body. He's got a yellow eye ring, and then kind of towards the back end there below the tail, he's white. So you rarely find pine warblers away from pine trees, so they really do live up to their name. They are an early migrant warbler. They come back before the other warblers as a rule, just because they don't migrate south of the United States like most warblers. They just go down into the southeast where they hang out in the pine trees there. Some pine warblers are actually resident in the southeast states, and then they're moving back north to Minnesota and Wisconsin now, where they'll nest in pine trees for the summer. By the way, the pine warbler is one of the few warblers too that actually comes to your bird feeders and will eat suet. So watch for these little guys hanging on your suet feeder for the next few days. American white pelicans are slowly making their way north to their breeding areas in the northern Great Plains and up into Canada now. They wintered down as far as Mexico or maybe along the Gulf Coast, and we occasionally see them here in northeastern Iowa, more on the Mississippi, not so much inland. So it's always kind of neat to see them at Cardinal Marsh right here in Winneshiek County. These are one of the biggest birds in North America, rivaling the California condor and trumpeter swan for having the widest wingspan when they're in flight, up around 9 feet or so, which is pretty amazing. They do have black wingtips when you see them in flight. By the way, there's only 2 pelican species in the United States, the white pelicans here, which we see in the Midwest, and then along the ocean coast, you'll find the brown pelican, which is brown. So only 2 pelicans, and these are pretty unmistakable when you see them, again, with those bright kind of orange bills, pouches they have for catching food. So if you're lucky and you're out and about either on the Mississippi River or here at Cardinal Marsh, watch for huge white birds with black wingtips in flight, and otherwise they might be fishing on the water. Squirrel corn is always a really cool little wildflower to find out in the forest. It is uncommon here in the driftless region, at least in Winneshiek County here, and look for it on cool north-facing slopes, usually where there's some maybe rocky limestone talus. That's the habitat it likes here. Squirrel corn is related to Dutchman's breeches, but notice on the squirrel corn, the flowers look a little more heart-shaped, not quite like the pairs of pants you'll see on Dutchman's breeches. Dutchman's breeches is abundant too. Squirrel corn, again, you've really got to hunt to find it. If you look at those squirrel corn flowers, they probably remind you of an albino bleeding heart, which they're related to the bleeding hearts that grow on our kind of flower gardens at home as well. The little squirrel corn blooms later than Dutchman's breeches, and you'll find that blooming in the right woods right now here. So hopefully you can find some yet this spring.